Listen close. Right now, the whole community is panicking, shaking in their seats, sweating through their clothes, wondering how their perfect little world collapsed overnight. You warned them. You told them word for word what was coming. They called you crazy, laughed right in your face, rolled their eyes, said you were overreacting, paranoid, weak. Now, they're the ones screaming into the void. And you're just sitting back, smiling, because deep down, you always knew. You saw the cracks years ago, the lies they told each other, the fragile alliances glued together with ego and greed. They built their empire on quicksand. You pointed it out, quietly at first. Stop, it's unstable, it's going to fall. They mocked you, conspiracy nut, jealous loser, get a life. So you did what the smart ones do. You shut your mouth, stepped into the shadows, let them keep stacking higher, higher, until the whole thing became too heavy to hold. Do you remember that exact night? The moment you decided no more explaining yourself? That single second the entire board flipped. Not when they betrayed you, not when they stabbed you again and again. When you chose silence, pure, deliberate silence. As Arthur Fleck put it so perfectly, is it just me, or is it getting crazier out there? They partied after you went quiet, posted their wins everywhere, bragged about being untouchable. Look at us, on top forever. You watched every move from the darkness, counting every arrogant shortcut, every lie they fed the crowd, every time they stepped over someone like you. You didn't fight back, didn't beg for respect. You collected, like a predator noting every limp in the prey that's too busy roaring to notice the noose tightening. How many nights did you lie awake, staring at the ceiling, mapping every possible outcome? While they slept sound in their delusion, you were already rewriting their ending, line by line, move by move. No rush, no noise, just patience. The kind of patience that turns pain into precision. They labeled your quietness as weakness, your distance as defeat, your so-called madness? No, method, cold, calculated strategy. They thought chaos owned you. You owned chaos. They thought you were broken. You were upgrading, sharpening every scar into a blade, turning every insult into rocket fuel, every slammed door into a lesson on unbreakable locks. Now look at them crumbling, their flawless plan falling apart like wet cardboard. Allies flipping sides faster than a coin toss, money evaporating into thin air, reputation hemorrhaging in public for the world to see. They point fingers wildly at the economy, at bad luck, at toxic people, anywhere except the one place that matters, the mirror. Because the mirror shows the real clown, wide-eyed, terrified, realizing too late that the joke was never on you. You didn't need to throw the first punch, didn't need to scream accusations, didn't need a dramatic public takedown. You just waited. Time became your sharpest weapon. You handed them the rope with a polite smile. They tied the noose themselves, laugh after laugh, brag after brag, pull after pull, until gravity took over. And down they went. Remember every single warning you dropped? The ones they dismissed with eye rolls? Too dramatic, overthinking, conspiracy nonsense. Each one was a seed planted in silence. You watered them with restraint. Now they're blooming wild, into full-blown nightmares they can't escape. Every ignored word is now a chain wrapped tight around their throat. Every dismissed truth, a fresh crack spreading through their foundation. They played chess. You played something ancient, something without rules or names. You moved pieces they couldn't even see on the board, years in advance. While they chased pawns and pretended to control kings, you quietly owned the entire game. Pause for a second. Breathe it in. Feel that rush deep in your chest? That's the feeling of being right. Not petty right, soul-level right. You knew the truth. They refused to hear it, and now the difference is burned into their lives forever. Chaos isn't random when it's yours. It's controlled demolition. Their ego became the explosive charge. Their greed lit the fuse. Their arrogance hit the detonator. Boom! No fingerprints left behind. Just pure, inevitable consequences. Beautiful in their simplicity. They'll try rewriting the story now. Paint themselves as victims. Misunderstood. We didn't know. We were blindsided.
But deep inside, they remember everything. Every time you tried to warn them, every time you spoke truth and they chose laughter instead. That memory will haunt them longer than any bankruptcy, longer than any lost friend, longer than the silence that follows their name now. You won without ever raising your voice, without posting screenshots, without demanding apologies on your knees. You won by transforming into exactly what they feared most: unpredictable, unbreakable, untouchable. The ghost haunting their every decision, the smile lurking behind every curtain, the punchline they never saw coming. And then it hits, like Arthur realized on that stage. I used to think my life was a tragedy, but now I realize it's a fucking comedy. Your life mirrored that. Their tragedy flipped into your comedy. The roles reversed so cleanly, it almost feels poetic. When they pushed you to the absolute edge, when everything felt lost, you echoed his cold, liberating truth. I've got nothing left to lose. Nothing can hurt me anymore. That's real power. No more fear, no more chains, just freedom in the fall. Freedom to become whatever you need to be. Everybody is awful these days. It's enough to drive anyone over the brink. But you didn't break. You embraced the awful, turned it into your advantage, weaponized it. The worst part of having a mental illness or simply being the outcast society discards is people expect you to behave as if you don't see it, as if you don't feel the abandonment, as if you don't notice the way they treat you like trash. But you saw, you felt every bit of it, and you stopped pretending otherwise. Think back to the Murray moment, the ultimate payoff, the point where the mask fully drops. How about another joke, Murray? They thought they could mock you forever, keep you small, keep you laughing on command, but you delivered the line that shattered everything. What do you get when you cross a mentally ill loner with a society that abandons him and treats him like trash? I'll tell you what you get. You get what you fucking deserve. That's exactly where you stand now. They got what they deserved. Every ignored warning, every laugh at your expense, every time they stepped over you, it all came due. And you collected without lifting a finger. You didn't need violence to win, didn't need chaos in the streets. Your chaos was internal, strategic, patient. You let their own flaws destroy them while you rose above the wreckage. So what comes next? Do you gloat in public, post victory laps, rub salt in the wounds? No, that's for amateurs who still crave validation. Real victory whispers. You smile quietly. You keep moving forward. Let them drown in the echoes of their own panic. Let them chase ghosts while you build empires they can never reach. The joke was always on them. They thought they were the ones delivering punchlines. Turns out they were the setup all along. And you landed the final twist. Clean, cold, perfect. If something inside you is stirring right now, if your pulse is quickening, that's not random. That's recognition. You've been the quiet one in the room, the one who warned, the one they laughed at, the one they dismissed. But that chapter is closed. The tide turns the moment you stop explaining yourself. Stop begging for belief. Stop waiting for permission. Let your actions roar louder than any warning ever could. Forgive my laughter. I have a condition, but now that condition is my strength, my edge, my freedom. You know what's funny? You know what really makes me laugh? The way they thought they could keep you down forever. The way they believed their world was unbreakable. Well, no one's laughing now. So smile, stay silent, keep moving, because what you warned about has already happened. The fallout is theirs. The ashes are theirs. The end is theirs. For you, this is only the beginning. The real game starts now, and you're 10 steps ahead. Always have been, always will be. The joke's on them. Keep playing.